Episode 5 begins with Maximus and Thaddeus. They were becoming friends. Thaddeus says, "Knight Titus, I believe in you. You are the most respected knight I ever seen." Maximus feels very bad to hear this, so he decides to tell Thaddeus the truth. Maximus tells him, "Before we go back to the base, there's probably something I should tell you." Thaddeus says, "I'm your squire, my lord. Whatever you want to say, just say it." Then Maximus reveals his identity and says we can still be friends. Thaddeus gets shocked and asks him, "Where is Knight Titus?" Maximus tells him that he died, so we just have to get our story straight before we go back. Thaddeus says, "They're going to kill you." Maximus says, "They don't have to find out." Thaddeus says it's the Brotherhood. "They'll find out." After hearing him, Maximus says, "I shouldn't have told you." Then Maximus approaches to kill him. He attacks Thaddeus, but Thaddeus had some kind of keys by which he freezes Maximus' armor. Then Thaddeus says, "This stinky old head is mine now," and he leaves with all his equipments. Maximus keeps yelling, "Don't leave me in here." But Thaddeus don't listen to him. The night has passed, and he is still stuck in his suit. Maximus is completely exhausted. Then we see Lucy arrived there. She opens his mask. Lucy asks, "Was that you back in Philly?" Maximus replied, "Yes, it was me." Lucy asks him, "Why can't you move?" Then Maximus told her that someone has stolen his suit's fusion core. And he asked her, "Can you please let me out?" Lucy says, "You remember that man I left with? I'm looking for his head. That's why I'm here. That's why I am passing through." Then she vomits. Maximus say, "Hey, you have radiation sickness. I got medicines left in the sleeve of my armor. You can have it if you let me out." Lucy says, "Believe me, I really want to trust you, but practically every person I've met up tried to kill me." Maximus says, "Hey, look, you don't get this medicine, you're going to pass out. And if you lose consciousness, we're both going to die. Trust me, please." Lucy asked him his name. After a moment of thought, he says, "His name is Knight Titus." Then Lucy opened his armor, and she faints. In next scene, we see Norman and Ched are investigating more. Norman says, "How did the raiders get a hold of my mom's Pip-Boy?" Here, Pip-Boy is a device worn by Vaulties on their hands. Ched says maybe the logs were falsified. Norman wants to know the truth and says, "I want to check one more thing." They visit inside. There they found more dead bodies. They also find message written on the wall which says, "We know what's in there." Norman says, "It looks like they were trying to get into Vault 31, but why?" And they leave. Then we see Maximus infuses Lucy with the medicine. Maximus is hiding his armor. Maximus says to Lucy that his squire stole something vital to the Brotherhood, so he is going after him. Lucy says, "Listen, I have a tracker that'll lead right to that head." Now, everybody on Earth seems to be after that thing. I'm guessing that's what you're looking for too. So we should travel together. We use my tracker to catch up to your squire, get the head, and take it to the Brotherhood. In exchange for my help, then you'll lend me the services of 5 or 6 knights to save my father. Maximus is a little hesitant at first, but then he agrees. And then both of them set out together towards their destination. On the other hand, the day is election day for the new overseers, and the candidates are Woody, Reg, and Betty. But as most people are casting their votes, Norman decides to go look into the records. He finds it's a record of intervolt trades implemented for the distribution of personnel. And he finds out that every single elected overseer from Vault 33 came there from Vault 31. Then we see, with a 98% majority, Betty Pearson has been elected Vault Overseer. And Norman finds out that Betty also came from Vault 31. Then Norman goes and congratulates Betty in a very mysterious manner. Then Norman goes to Ched and tells him about this discovery. Ched doesn't think it's weird because everything they know about Vault 31 is that it's just better. Better education system, better resources, and a phrase too. When things look glum, vote 31. Norman says, but it can't be a coincidence for the past 200 years. Every elected overseer came from Vault 31. Luckily, he found the woman, Steph, who was from Vault 31. Norman asked, "Hey, Steph, what's the difference between our vault and Vault 31? Steph tells him she thinks maybe the mashed potatoes were a little better. Norman says that is what my dad used to say. Then we see Maximus and Lucy. They continue to walk on their way and they get into a town called Shady Sands. When Lucy sees the billboard, her mood changes because the billboard says, "Welcome to Shady Sands, the first capital of the new California Republic. Population 34,000, established in 2142. The reason she is so depressed about this is because she has been living in the vault for her entire life, and they've been told that their purpose was to repopulate the earth. And here it's a sign saying it has been already repopulated, that 34,000 people lived here at one point after the great bomb dropped. So the whole purpose of the vault was just a waste. In order to make her feel better, Maximus says, "If it makes you feel any better, it didn't work out." And they moved on. They saw a giant hole in the ground that was caused by a bomb dropping. The whole town was deserted. Lucy says, "I wonder if anyone survived." Then Maximus says, "Yes, I did." But before he could expound on that, he says, "We should keep moving." But Maximus was in pain. Lucy notices that Maximus was shot and had a bullet wound. Then she says, "We have to get you some help from somewhere." Maximus says we should keep moving. We need to get that head. But Lucy says the head can wait. Then they scrambled along. They arrived at a medical laboratory. Lucy was walking ahead. Maximus tells her that there could be anything in there. But Lucy says, "At least we can get a first aid kit." Lucy enters the laboratory. Maximus followed her in. Shortly after he enters the building, Lucy's nowhere to be found. So Maximus walks very cautiously, and one point he gets trapped between the doors. Siren starts going off and smoke starts filling and Maximus faints. In next scene we see Betty, the new overseer, called everyone for meeting. She says she's been in a discussion with the overseer from Vault 31, and they've decided that they need to repopulate Vault 32 after what Raiders did. So some people are going to stay in Vault 33, and some are going to Vault 32 to build it back up. Everybody starts walking back into Vault 32. When Norman and Ched enters, they got surprised because all the dead bodies gone, the blood on the walls was painted over. Norman visits to Overseer office where he saw the corpse, but everything was cleaned up. Then Betty arrives and asks Norman, "Did you find anything interesting?" Norman replied, "Great job cleaning up." Norman asks to her, "When my mother died, what happened to her Pip-Boy?" Betty says it was buried with her. Norman asks, "How are you so sure?" Then Betty says, "Because I buried her myself with your father." In last scene we see Maximus and Lucy. When Maximus wakes up, he finds Lucy's with him. He asks Lucy, "Where are we?" Lucy says it's okay, come over and look. There we're in a vault. So this was the end of episode 5. Hope you liked it, and if you did, then hit the thumbs up. Please consider subscribing the channel. It will help me a lot. Episode 4 has been detailedly explained. If you haven't watched it, kindly visit the channel. Stay tuned for the explanation of episode 6. Thanks for watching.